taking Australia as a whole, how would you like to encourage Australians to look at Sri Lanka right now? And if someone's looking at Sri Lanka with questions, with concerns, with doubts, is there anything you can speak to them about the potential that this country holds and the journey and the wish towards that modern Sri Lanka?
Well, I guess the one thing I didn't talk about, which is important to your economy, is tourism.
Yes.
So the first thing I'd say is come here, travel to Sri Lanka.
Yes.
As active tourists. Come and see for yourself modern Sri Lanka. See
Thank
the
you for saying
world
that.
you are traversing from your history through to your modernity. You have a contested history, as does Australia.
Yeah.
We all great nations have to wrestle with things that have happened in our history, and particularly for younger Australians to come and learn about your history. You're in the business, I understand at the moment, of something you call reconciliation. We have a different version of that in our country with discussions about the First Nations history of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders in Australia. But we are both as nations thinking about what the elements that make us modern, where we first came from, the things that actually were difficult over many years, and then what we've come to be as we face a modern world and how we do that uniquely in our own ways. And so I'd say come and travel. My trip here 20 years ago was profound. It was a year after the tsunami. The physical environment had been decimated.
Yeah.
There was a desperate need for infrastructure and for people to come. And we answered that call to come and spend money, spend time and listen and get to know people here. And I'll never forget that. And when you ask me how I feel coming back, what is not different at all is the absolute sense of welcome and warmth and the wanting of sharing of Sri Lankan culture with those that come. And so I think so our tourism trade should grow, I hope. I think I'd encourage business people to think about what does foreign direct investment look like once you've established that you can deliver an economy that is corruption-free.
Yeah.
That has been a promise made by your leadership. That's very important to Australians and Australian businesses and those that want to invest. We have a lot of capital to invest in many different ways, and FDI is something that we do around the world where we see places that take seriously the rules-based system, do not have corruption, and where money can be invested for the long term, where we prosper together. And so I'd be saying to Australians, think about the journey that Sri Lanka's been on, just as we have been on, but think about the fact that you have been trying to deal with that through your civil war.
Yeah.
Then you had an economic collapse, and you have decided as a nation to choose leaders who say there is a path, not just out, but a recovery path that has such optimism and potential at its core that we should partner with you. And I think what I see in Sri Lanka with the steps of removal of corruption, the arrival of people who don't have a dynastic right to your political leadership, who represent the people, who speak about the people. I keep seeing that. I met the Mayor of Colombo this week, and her enthusiasm and her desire to engage with the people of local government in Australia to see how to work together. These are all moments to celebrate and to say, despite that storied past, there's something courageous and brilliant right now, and it does feel like a take-off point. And I'd like to think that Australia and Australians are going to be working right beside Sri Lanka and Sri Lankans to achieve that, because I think we have very similar stories to share and to support one another.